In this package, Deputy Governor others elated on Election Petitions Tribunal victory. NAPTIP to create desk offices in 31 local government areas of Akwa Ibom. NLC TUC suspend industrial action for 30 days. An Economic and Financial Crimes Commission secure arrest warrants against former Minister of Petroleum Resources Diezani Alizan Madueke. 6 extradition. This and more in just a moment. The Akwa Ibom Deputy Governor, Senator Akone Yarenyi, has expressed joy over the victory recorded by Governor Moino at the Election Petitions Tribunal. Senator Yarenyi, alongside others, expressed their feelings while speaking with Government House reporters at the Victor Atta International Airport Government House. Reporter Patience John completes the story.
Describing the victory at the tribunal as an act of God, the Deputy Governor, Senator Akone Yarenyi, also thanked the governor's legal team for doing a good job, reiterating that they were duly elected by Akwa Ibom people into office as governor and deputy governor.
First, I want to appreciate the people of Akwa Ibom State for standing by and for standing and believing in Governor Umar Basi Eno. They voted for him. It was not a manipulated vote, it was the actual vote. And so I want to call on the people of Akwa Ibom State to celebrate, thank God, and hold on for what they trusted and delivered. God will help us to deliver the dividend to the people of Akwa Ibom State.
For the political leader of Youth Senatorial District, Senator Ifeong Bob, it was a tough legal battle, and according to him, the Umono's team was confident because the issues raised by the opposition were unfounded.
So we thank God for courageous judgment delivered by the tribunal. And of course, the people of Akwa Ibom stood by Umoino, and they also stood throughout, believing that victory will also be confirmed by the tribunal. You see that it was a total embarrassment because the petitioners or opponents, so to speak, went outside the normal opposition to becoming enemies, because they did all that was unethical, to go into personal issues, personal attacks on integrity, family, everything that was unreasonable, in my opinion, to attack him. But they called it politics, but I don't think that is politics, because it's better to do politics without bitterness.
The Secretary to the State Government, Prince Enobonwa, called on the petitioners to join hands with Governor Moino to administer the state and allow love and unity to prevail, while one of the legal team members, Womedi Monwoko SNN, expressed displeasure at what he described as lies by the petitioners. Called on all, irrespective of the political party, to support Governor Moino to administer the state for more development.
So I thank God. I also thank Akwa Ibom people for the confidence in Governor Moino. Truth is, Akwa Ibom people knew very well what they wanted. They wanted a man with vision. They wanted a man with character. Akwa Ibom people wanted a man who has tenacity. And they found that in Pastor Moino, and they voted overwhelmingly for him. And so it's not a surprise that the court cases were just mere academic exercises. But we're here, so we thank God, and our party is good for it, and we're happy. And like he normally says, this is the happy hour.
I feel on top of the world. With humility and gratitude to God, because it's not what man can. We should. There's something wrong with going to court, but let it be based on facts, not on malice, not on mischief. all the allegations against Omoino were all mischievous and malicious. That's the sad thing about it. A man went to school, took his exams, had certificates issued to him by the exam body, and you come out and see, you stay it and you cook up documents. It's the kind of case you see some criminals were suborned to appear in the court and give evidence against Omoino. Deliberate falsehood.
Speaking the mind of Akwa Ibom people and the PDP in particular, I want to say that this is a victory for all. It's a victory for the PDP people, it's victory for Akwa Ibom people, it's victory that actually showcased that Omoino was the right candidate, actually showcased that the people of Akwa Ibom State voted en masse for His Excellency Omoino.
Patience Joy, AKBC News.
The Uyo Zonal Command of the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, says it will soon create desk offices across the 31 local government areas of Akwa Ibom where cases of human trafficking can be reported for onward transmission to the agency and State Committee on Human Trafficking. The Uyo Zonal Commander of the agency, Mr. Awen Emmanuel, was speaking in an exclusive interview with AKBC 45 News. Crime reporter Etienne Oibanga at the command headquarters in Uyo.
Mr. Emmanuel, who assumed office in the state during this year as the 11th Zonal Commander, NAPTIP, said the agency will continue to create adequate awareness through mass media advocacy, visit to schools, churches, symposium and workshops, and synergize with sister agencies to achieve results. The NAPTIP boss explained that the agency has intensified efforts with critical stakeholders, including relevant ministries of government, to fight human trafficking to a standstill in Akwa Ibom.
With the support from our partners and other law enforcement agencies, we intend to carry out a very robust sensitization, and then we work with our partners, governments. We intend to create a desk officers in the local governments when cases of human trafficking will be reported to them, and they will not benefit towards anti-state actions of human trafficking.
Mr. Manuel made known that the command within the year has arrested 50 suspects, rescued 150 victims, empowered 50, and rehabilitated others with life enhancement equipment. The Uyo Zonal Commander said investigations are ongoing on a 3-high syndicate of human trafficking who sold Akwa Ibom children to a client in Anambra State, adding that the suspects will be charged to court after investigations.
We've had up to like 50 suspects, and then victims about maybe 100 or 150. We have empowered like 50, and then we united some presently. There's a sister organization that we kept some of them there where they will testify in court. Like I told you before, we have some suspects here that we intend to take to court. This is a very serious crime. These are high syndicates of human trafficking. Presently there are 3. It's 3 for the children and then sold them to Anambra State.
Mr. Manuel advised parents and guardians to closely watch and monitor their children, especially as the year comes to its last quarter, stressing that human traffickers may also step up their games. The zonal commander, however, warned human traffickers in the state and beyond to desist forthwith, as the agency is working assiduously to nab them, and call on the public to avail NAPTIP with useful information on crime related to human trafficking in their communities.
We tend to do a very massive grassroots enlightenment. Report cases of human trafficking to NAPTIP or private state task force on human trafficking. We have some hotlines that you can call 091 68 33 9703. Office address at Plus 40 Akwa Ibom Estate.
Mr. Manuel, who commended the synergy of our agency with the state government, expressed optimism that with proper funding and adequate logistics, the command will achieve more. Etienne Ibanga, AKBC News.
Parents and guardians have been advised not to impose a career on their children, but rather should encourage them to pursue a vocation of their interest in order to achieve academic excellence. A professor of educational psychology in the University of Uyo, Imabong Okpan, gave the advice while delivering the 94th inaugural lecture of the university. The lecture had the topic Educational Psychologist, the Unsung Catalyst in a Dysfunctional Society, held at the 1,000-seater Tedford Auditorium of the university main campus, Waniba Road, Uyo. Etino Ibanga was there.
It was a convergence of the town and gown as the inaugural lecturer, Professor Imabong Okpan, took the center stage for the display of scholarship. Delivering the 94th lecture, which coincidentally had 94 pages, Professor Okpan examined her journey into educational psychology, saying that the decision of her father was for her to read nursing to make up for an insult he received from a nurse in one of his visits to hospital. Professor Okpan said she could not buy the idea because of her fear for night duties, but subsequently registered in a national crash program for the training of pivotal teachers to fill gaps as classroom teachers in secondary schools. She explained that the work of educational psychologists revolves around understanding, improving and optimizing teaching and learning process to support the development and well-being of learners in school and non-school setting. Noting that the home serves as the first educational institution of a child, Professor Okpan, the first PhD holder in Uyo Village, said the dysfunction can occur at various levels, listing ineffective communication, lack of boundaries, rigid behavior, role confusion, low self-esteem, and lack of problem-solving skills as characteristics of dysfunction society. The Don, who is a member committee of Deans of Education Nigerian Universities, admitted that as a catalyst in the learning process, the educational psychologist provides operational rubrics for successful teaching and learning. The lecturer, who doubles as a permanent member of University of Uyo Senate, made recommendations for policy, research, and practice to foster inclusion of educational psychologists in nation-building initiative and curb societal dysfunction at all levels.
Educational psychology should be officially recognized by crucial professionals in the national education and societal development framework. This recognition should come from government bodies and educational institutions and reflect in employment statistics and role assignment across various institutions.
The Vice Chancellor of the University of Uyo, Professor Nyauda Ndayo, applauded the 94th inaugural lecturer for bringing experience to bear in her delivery and presented a plaque to her.
She has shown her academic progress. She has acquitted herself. She has presented more than enough evidence to justify the
The lecture attracted people from all walks of life who presented gifts to the lecturer, while women from Uyo Village, Uyo local government area, roll out the drums to celebrate with one of their own. Etienne Ibanga, AKBC News.
Still to come, Nigeria Labour Congress suspends strike for 30 days. How many wives should a man marry, wait, and meet this man comfortably married to 16 wives? These and more when we return.
This is our home, where we all belong. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. It's only man and you know. We go stand together, we go make them better. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we day. It's only man and you know.
The next story in this bulletin is brought to you due to popular demands. The saying that one man's mate is another's poison holds true for Mr. Elijah Joseph Attah, a serial polygamist from Nkaniman in Etinan local government area, married to 16 wives, out of which 12 left, while he currently lives with 4. The irony of his devotion to polygamy finds expression in his ability to provide for his 24 children in the same economic. Monogamists with few children are finding it hard to feed and cater for. Our reporter Yagano Paul was in Etinan to find out how he copes.
The story of Mr. Elijah Joseph Attah, a man with many wives and children, as well as the circumstances surrounding the swapping of his children at birth to his co-wives, took yours truly to Nkaniman in Etinan local government area. On arrival, our team was received by Elijah, who treated us to delicious local delicacies before narrating the story of his life as a polygamist.
Dr. Elijah Joseph Attah,
Elijah told us that he had 16 wives, 4 left but without their children, 8 had no children and left, while 4 are still with him and their 24 children. We sought to know from him the need for that number of wives and how he coped with his marital responsibility to them.
Up till now. Ramama Manja Boram, Kapan Noram, Nang Boram, Madam, Kapan Noram, Amama 3 months in Mebo. I the impossible over I got my info for the Akawanamo. Iram and the 24 children and came, Jimaginaba. A friend mommy, a man machine man, I was Junkan and Namatian, go one up the Nisa, but I can't win. The other room, so for saying I'm the time cable, I meet up a friend more. Away with the material bonomo, I saw them to say no. I mean, I think I got to a man, did the other no, I got Liama, I get Janidiama. I've got this most down on young one, Dagon, not an Araja. Am I right? I'm a one can get him.
Elijah is a Christian, a big palm oil producer who has thousands of hectares of oil palm fruits, which generate at least 2 million naira monthly palm oil, and also an embalmer since 1981.
I make it be 140 million told you. I make it to be done and encourage 50. He did get 50 and I need 100 robbers, which is 10 drums. At the end of the month, I give me 2 million.
The 4 remaining wives of Elijah, Imabong, Ekaite, Abigail, and Didorean, narrated their experiences being Elijah's wives and the raising children from other wives. They spoke of their cooking method and taking turns in meeting with the intimate needs of their husband.
Doctor, I young Hannibal. He's in Kerekaite. He had in Domin. I mean, my young again, I don't want and I'm not young boy of us India. I'm not a man feel idiot. I made on feel Indian. But I mean, the dance again land or me, woman. You are removing an infinite bang. And I understand. If you am done, then they believe I obey when I rub with enough for me now from for a very often and near Cadito. Yeah, it's a beginning. I fully come down, need on Kufa. I can Aribo, a cat, I give it him. Saupuno, we are at Ayapun. I mean, I young one, I'm now. I get it, you don't
mad young that Kenya Arado Iban Fin. Due to Nanya Kama family mo, Nonkat. Na Moike Bunu, Dentoeka, a Tindiri Isiokate, a Fremon, Togoyan, Edia, Tarokanam, I mean, Bouquet, there will be no problem. Kenya doing. No regrets, Tahin fell, can you disappoint? Don't get the young, don't get on Manayan. I can't Mpopayan me bagay nong deka idan sa nagan kirap mamma na gina rumma iban man ko moy rum meka amoy kama amoy non dia even the toilet safe e don't memmo akuri da rubo yin me moka e bi gibe na wo mfin the other room e say nam dey say nyenye time table say that area friend there's no problem ni am friend nong di on say me nong dok said me man nong enjoy.
Some children of Mr. Elijah that talked about not knowing their biological mothers and whether they will follow their father's footsteps in maintaining polygamy.
We have never quarreled before.
Okay, how many wives do you want your husband to marry?
I want my husband to marry only me.
Yeah, I don't want my husband to marry 4 wives. Only me alone is okay. So according to him, he got married to 4 wives, married to about 2 wives. So, but 4 years present. And when I was 10, I did not tell him my mom. Sunday, was supposed to cook, next week, second wife, third week, third wife, and like that. So I might not be able to be like him. I intend to marry one with you.
We also met and spoke with the superintendent of Christ Freedom Church, where Elijah is a committed member on the stand of the church about polygamy. What do you as a person think about Elijah's decision into polygamy? And do you agree with many that happiness is a choice? Well, choose the path you can take to the end, provided it makes you happy. Eyageno Paul, KBC News.
The Nigeria Labour Congress NLC and the Trade Union Congress TUC have suspended the indefinite strike earlier scheduled to commence today, Tuesday, October 3, 2023. They made the announcements after a marathon meeting held between the unions and the federal government. The action has been suspended for 30 days to allow the government implement some of its promises. A memorandum of understanding issued after the meeting and signed by the president of NLC, Comrade Joe Ajero, TUC president, Comrade Festus Osifo, General Secretary NLC, Comrade Emmanuel Uboaja, and Secretary General TUC, Comrade Nuhu A. Toro. On the side of the government were Minister of Labour and Employment Simon Lalong, Minister of State for Labour and Employment Dr. Nkiruka Onyejosha, and Minister of Information and National Orientation Malam Mohammed Idris. The strike notice had been issued by the NLC and the TUC in response to the withdrawal of subsidy on premium motor spirit by the federal government, leading to an increase in fuel prices. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has secured an arrest warrant against former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Diazani Alison Madweke. Also, the Commission has initiated extradition proceedings to bring Diazani back to Nigeria. Diezani was arraigned Monday at Westminster's Court in London, United Kingdom, following alleged bribery offences and an investigation by the United Kingdom's National Crime Agency, NCA. In its reaction to Diezani's arraignment in London, the EFCC said it had initiated the extradition process against the former minister. The Anti-Corruption Agency held her arraignment before Westminster's Court in London. No fewer than 35 people have been reported burnt to death at an illegal oil refining site in Rivers State. The incident happened at Iba community area of the state. It was gathered that fire broke out at the illegal oil refining site late Sunday night and that all the people numbering over 45 were affected. A source in the community, Emmanuel Daniel, said the victims had gone to trade on the petroleum products when fire started at the refining site, consuming them. At press time, police could not confirm the development as the police public relations officer of the state command, Grace Iringa Koko, said she would get back to the reporters. That's our package for this evening. But before we go, we take another look at the top stories. The Akwa Ibom State Deputy Governor, Senator Akone Yaganyi, has expressed joy over the victory recorded by Governor Moino at the Election Petitions Tribunal. Senator Yaganyi, alongside others, expressed their feelings while speaking with Government House reporters at the Victor Atta International Airport. The Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC) have suspended the indefinite strike earlier scheduled to commence today, Tuesday, October 3, 2023. They made the announcement after a marathon meeting held between the unions and the federal government. The action has been suspended for 30 days to allow the government to implement some of its promises. That's our package for tonight. We thank you so much for being a part of it and wish you a good night rest. I am Blessing. It's on you.